Good evening, everybody. I'm Nupur. I've been in the industry for the last 14 years. I started my career with Tata and then went on to work at Gap and Li & Fung. Today I'm running my own leather footwear business. And I'm happy to be here to be a part of this exercise. And I will begin from the point where Shazia has left, and to bring to table the importance of a merchandiser in an organization. Now, Shazia has talked to you about textile, and my colleague later on, Tarun, will talk to you more about production and inventory management. But the point is that everything comes together through a merchandiser. I'm sure there are a lot of, how many of you here are actually involved in day-to-day merchandising? You are involved. Anybody else? Very few people from merchandising? Okay, I understand. But then, it is an interlinked area. There are many people who, sometimes move within the organization. But I'm sure in your day-to-day working, you have interacted with several merchandisers. I don't think any of you can work without actually actively working with your marketing and merchandising team. There is a day-to-day activity which is, you cannot really do without it. You have to come together, and everything is communicated back and forth mostly through a merchandiser. So I think I cannot really emphasize more the role of efficient and effective merchandising. But before I begin that, I'd like to tell you just a brief thing about what is supply chain. So supply chain is, we are all very, very familiar with it. So it's basically, a link, a chain which brings the final product to the customer. And all kinds of activities are there, and you cannot really limit yourself because it is very, very complex, and the kind of research and work and development that is happening in this area is immense. Now, if you look at merchandising, then merchandising is very, very, very critical in supply chain. Okay, if you are a merchandiser or if you're merchandising at a retailer, and it's a different set of activities that you need to do. If you're merchandising in an apparel export house, there's a different set of merchandising activities you need to perform. If you're in a buying agency, LISO office, there's a different kind of activity that you need to perform. But the point here is that, you are one person who is actually at the end of the day very, very vital in this link of supply chain. You're a very, very important link in merchandising chain. So moving forward, it is very important since this field, as my colleague Shazia had mentioned, that apparel industry is a huge industry and fashion industry is growing every day. So we need to be in sync with the world. We need to be constantly upgrading ourselves. And today my objective is just to, very, very briefly discuss what I think are very important merchandising practices. And merchandising is not just limited to the marketing department. I personally feel that because running my own business, I have realized that a sense of merchandising has to be there in every division of an export house. Whether you are sourcing fabrics, whether you're sourcing trims, whether you are actually working with the buyer on a day-to-day basis on product development, the sense of merchandising, the merchandising philosophy needs to be internalized by all of us, and this is what, I just want to bring forward in this. And more effective we are, the more trained we are, we can work in a more organized manner. Because this whole thing is about the whole running of business is essentially teamwork. Apparel business, I have been a part of a buying house, I've been a part of a LISO office, and I have worked with an exporter also. So I feel that unless there is a clear understanding of the practices of merchandising and there is discipline, we will at the end of the day end up not delivering to the customer. So, I'll just be talking about what I consider is important, and also what should be the key things that you need to consider while taking decisions. Okay, so as I mentioned, you're a vital link, all right, and your job is to make sure that the planning is done effectively. So now, if I just look at merchandising from a marketing perspective, then as I mentioned before, you are an interface between the buyer and the factory. And you bring together a lot of factors. So it is very, very important for you to be knowledgeable about what your customer needs at the end of the day. And you also need to be very knowledgeable about what you can deliver, what is available in the market. There are so many opportunities that are creeping up every day. There are so many new developments that are happening, so many new buyers that are coming, so many countries which are now developing, so many countries which are doing badly, and it has now become very, very important for any export house or any buying agency in order to sustain themselves in the business to be constantly on a lookout. Looking out for new opportunities is extremely important. And when you look out for new opportunities, business is all about managing money. So you have to, resources are scarce everywhere, right? We have to put our resources in a manner which will yield us the highest return. We have to put our resources into businesses that at the end of the day end up giving us the highest return. So in merchandising, it is very, very important. You know, these are the few things, these are, you know, this is just, I'm looking at it from a retailer's perspective because your goods ultimately end up going to the retailer. So understanding the retailer and understanding the trends is important for everybody, whether you're in fabric sourcing, whether you're in trim sourcing, whether you are in merchandising, production, everywhere, you need to have that information. Information about cost, about competitors. All of you here, I think, are very much a part of the industry. I can just, by looking at all of you, I know that you have many years of work experience. So you all know that these are very, very important features. Now, what exactly is merchandiser? And since this is about supply chain management, and I have mentioned before that I think that merchandising activity needs to be performed in all areas, right? So you definitely need to have, you need to be a creative person, you need to have a passion for your job, you need to have cross-functional skills. Because at any given point of time, I don't think in today's world, in today's business environment, though the movement is towards, you know, more division of labor and more focused and specialized way of working, but still I feel that in order to really succeed and grow within organizations and to take your organizations forward, you need to have cross-functional skills. It is very important to build up these from time to time. And you need to be very strong and passionate about product development. You need to be very passionate about range development, but nothing would work if at the end of the day you do not end up making money for your business. Every exercise, every function, everything that you perform would get negated unless the money is generated. So that is very, very important. The management of the margins, which is why as a merchant, I've mentioned before also that it is very important to be proactive. It is very important to have an attitude and approach of learning, constantly looking for new things. I mean, through the work process, wherever I have worked, I have enjoyed surfing the net because you cannot travel everywhere. But the more you research, the more you delve deeper into your chosen professions, the more chances are there that you will come up with this one bright idea which is going to change probably the face of your company or maybe make it a more stronger organization. You have to have very good collaborative skills because if you are a merchant in a textile division of your company, you have to have the ability and the knack of striking rapport with people. That is extremely important. Your collaboration skills need to be honed every day so that you can become an effective communicator for your company. So, responsibilities. I think the roles and responsibilities in the last 10 years have undergone a dramatic change. The way the business is going, it is, you know, I think it is becoming deeper. And so one of the most important thing is development of innovative merchandising solutions, understanding the customer needs and understanding the trends and setting pace for product development is the key role of a merchandiser today. Whether you are a merchandiser in the fabric sourcing, trim sourcing, wherever you are, it is very important. Then also, another important factor is to have and, you know, constantly keep upgrading your resource base. You have to be constantly on a lookout. If you are in a factory, and if you are working in a textile department of your organization, then it is very important for you to look for new suppliers, because whenever you find a new supplier, you find a new opportunity. A new opportunity could be not just in terms of product development, but that new opportunity could be in terms of a lower product cost, a cheaper fabric, a new blend. It can be anything. And then, of course, you have to set the targets and then make sure that those targets are met. Now, coming to the challenges that are there today, there are many challenges now within any apparel export house, whether you are a part of the supply chain from a textile supplier point of view, or whether you are a part of the supply chain in an apparel making organization. Lead time is something which is becoming very, very, very tight these days. There are, I'm sure a lot of people here have faced challenges of what they call speed to market programs, because the fashion world is very fickle, things are changing, and there is a need to speed up the product to the market, and that creates challenge for everybody down the supply chain. So, which is why, because of these issues, the tighter lead times, it is very important now to know your business better, to know your competitor better, to know your supplier better, to know all the channel partners in the supply chain better. And as I mentioned before, fashion industry is very, very volatile. The fashion supply chain is more complex and more fickle, because it's a seasonal business, the trends are changing, so our jobs and our responsibilities are more complicated. And networking is very, very critical. And besides the speed to market programs that I had mentioned before, there is always, because we all know the situation of recession, this thing still hasn't ended. It just seems to be that this problem is moving from one part of the world to another part of the world. Now, whenever there is a situation of recession, the retailers face pressure, and when they face pressure, the pressure ultimately needs to be borne down by all of us. So everybody in supply chain gets under pressure to reduce cost, whichever way, whether it could be material cost or whether it could be managing, in terms of increasing the efficiency, day-to-day productivity. So this is a new challenge, because the cost is now the driving factor. I have seen business move from one country to the other just for 5 cents. So their buyer doesn't consider anything these days, especially the competitive large volume buyers. They do not consider other factors. They are mainly concentrating on the price, and that is why it is very important for us to constantly improve our efficiency everywhere, in every part of the supply chain. All of us bear the responsibility for that. And the new emerging trend these days with big retailers is that of co-managed inventory system. Co-managed inventory system is where, you have automatically, the minute the sales happen in the stores, you get to know, and you prepare a replenishment plan. This is a trend which is emerging, which is an established trend with more developed nations, but this is a trend which is picking up in India as well. People are believing that we are capable of managing such complex programs, and our exporters are getting similar programs. So, and how do we then achieve the objectives? That is the next thing. We are very clear that what is our aim. To achieve the objective, we have to be very proactive. A good merchant, in whichever part of the supply chain he is, he has to be extremely proactive. You have to always have an eye on the margin and always on the bottom line of the business. You have to create a diverse supplier base. You have to, because what is happening these days, a lot of bigger customers are moving away from the branded business. Stores which would earlier retail just the brands are now moving to own brands. Now, when the movement is away from the brands and the movement is towards creating your own brands for retailing, there is more challenge for product development. Because there are so many stores across US where you will have a Converse and a Planet Sport, and all the big brands will be there, but they will have their own labels as well. And increasing focus is now on their own labels. So which is where the challenge is, which is where a good business opportunity is, and which is where we need to gear ourselves up. And people with innovative product development ideas are the only ones who will be able to get hitched onto this bandwagon and really utilize this opportunity. And another thing that I forgot to, I missed in the last slide is that everywhere, because we are sitting in India, we know what is happening here, we know what the mills are doing, what are the new emerging trends. Somebody sitting in US and Britain or wherever you're exporting to may not be aware of these changes. So we are the eyes and ears for the customers. So we have to constantly because we can furnish only that information to the customer which we have. So we have to be constantly on the lookout, and we should feed this information out. Now, just the last slide, which I feel these are this is general common sense, which I'm talking about here, but I feel very strongly about this. And in a product life cycle, it is very, very important for you to really study a development when it lands at your table. 80% of the work gets sorted out at product development stage. The more thorough you are at the product development stage, the better it is. And we have a lot of garments which we'll be conducting this exercise, and we have tried to pick up garments which are tricky, which will need you to think about various alternatives. So product development stage is very, very crucial. This is the stage where everybody should get involved. Whether it is the textile, whether it is the fitting team, whoever is there, they should get involved in this part. And then you should involve the experts in your organization. You should never hesitate from going up and talking to people and getting more knowledge. Study the lead times very, very carefully. The lead time for fabrics, lead time for trims, and please do not, in your excitement, overcommit on a PCD. If you have the cut date, if you have a certain cut date, and if you're committing to a certain cut date to your organization, then it should be something that you shouldn't be impractical in that area and overexcited and conforming to something which you know later is going to create a problem for your organization. Prepare a very, very detailed time and action calendar and monitor each and every milestone very, very carefully. LabDip approvals, if you have set a timeline, then if it is going beyond that particular timeline, proactive approach needs to be taken up immediately to sort out this matter. And of course, communication. Very important for you to communicate with each member of your team. And with that, I will conclude my session, and then Tarun will come and talk to you about production planning and inventory management. Thank you.